Some people buy a gas grill. I open a federal investigation. My girl says, the way you research stuff is crazy, which is unfair because it's not crazy. It's thorough. It's probably a little crazy, but it's mostly thorough. And I don't really buy products. I interrogate them. I want to know their childhood. I want to know their warranty. I want to know who hurt them. I once looked for a wheelbarrow, and I was researching it for 2 years from a new house. 2 years. I never bought it. And then it moved. And that means the wheelbarrow won. Sometimes it takes too long. I appreciate you for subscribing here at Bud Ford Comedy. My name is Bud like the beer, Ford like the truck. And again, thank you for the time you take on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, Apple Podcast. I appreciate all of your comments, the likes, all of that stuff. Wherever you found me today, I appreciate it more than you know. I'm going to talk about two things today. One, because inside my house, I'm in Arizona. It's 108 degrees. That's not in my house. I said that wrong. Outside my house. Inside my house, the AC is running like a crazy person to get me to 83. So I'm telling you, I'm about to start sweating profusely. So I need to get this done. So I got two things that are really connected, which is odd. One, like I said, I research products like I'm preparing for trial. Two, I bought a gas grill that said 2-hour assembly. We finished 2 days later. It's not really assembly. That's like a 10-year-old in grown-up church. You know what I mean? Now, before you say anything, I know what you're thinking. The grill's not supposed to become a life event. I know. But it did. It became a documentary, a heat-related medical issue, a relationship test, and a Costco testimony all at once. It became everything except dinner, which didn't happen. The original goal was simple. I upgrade my gas grill. That's it. That's all. When I moved into the place that I live right now, the gas grill was atrocious. And I don't mean a little bit atrocious. I mean like, ew, like that. Like no one's going to use that and feel good about it. So I'm like, you know what? It's time that I replace that. When you hear upgrade the gas grill, you're normal, right? You just, boom, walk into store, find something that's shiny and metal with some buttons, and you say, yeah, this one looks good. 30 minutes you're at home, hour later you're eating chicken. Not me. It's not how it works. I hear upgrade gas grill, and something in here activates. It's not a hobby. It's a condition. I become product Rain Man. Oh, definitely Weber. Cast iron grates, definitely cast iron grates. Definitely have to have a sear zone. Not paying retail. My girl watches the research phase start, and she looks at me like I've lost my mind. A phone case, I'll research it for 3.5 hours. She'll be like, you're not solving international debt, stupid. Fair. It is a phone cover, but I'll be like, yeah, but if the phone cover's not drop tested, mag safe, real, and I don't mean your chintzy kind, is it going to survive Arizona sunlight? Is it going to yellow in sunlight? Because the cheap ones will. Can you still use the button through the cover? Does it feel cheap? Does it look cheap? You don't want to look like you have a third world phone. That's an iPhone. Does it have grip? Does it work with the stand? What do the reviews say? Where was it made? Yeah. Then she looks at me and she's like, all I wanted was a case for my phone. Well, you got the bonus plan, didn't you? I wanted courtroom evidence. That's what I got. That's how I'm wired. Bigger the purchase, worse it gets. Car purchase, forget about it. Right this very minute, my girl is going, no, please don't do this. About 10 months ago, I bought the vehicle I have now. And now I'm realizing I really want a full-size truck, which means I'm starting to research things. It's not good. This will be probably a 12-part series. I'm going to watch YouTube videos from men in garages who describe cup holders like they are the Supreme Court. They are making decisions. I'll compare trim levels. I'll compare engines. I'll compare depreciation. I'm going to know about transmissions, emissions, all things I will never repair. Not fixing any of that stuff. I'm going to know the bolt pattern for a wheel I don't own. I'm also going to know when they changed the infotainment system, what the upgrades were, and how that impacts me. Gonna know all those things. I'm also gonna know the dealership that acts like nitrogen tires are some kind of luxury. I'm not going there. You can't trick me. I'm not dumb. I've been on forums. I know how it goes. I don't trust one review. I need 15 strangers, 3 mechanics, 1 angry Reddit, and a man named Dale who's owned 3 of them. And let me tell you something. Dale's important because Dale has no agenda. He bought one in 2017. He pulled a camper to Branson, and my man has thoughts. I need Dale. My girl says, nobody researches like this. And I said, that is not true. There are dozens of us. We've just never met because we're all still at home reading the 1-star reviews. Oh, you don't read 1-star reviews? That's where the truth lives. If you fall for that 5-star review mess, they're useless. What are they going to say? Great product, easy to unbox, fast shipping. Don't tell me nothing. I expect those things. I need the 1-star reviews to go, I bought this grill and the left burner sort of sounds like a dying trombone. That's when we're getting to the stuff that I need. That is citizen journalism at its best. That's what I came here for. That's what the internet's good for. Now, I know some people think you're just being negative. It's not negative, it's preparation. I don't want surprises. I want disappointment to show identification at the door. And my girl's like, that's not how normal people live. I'm like, wait a minute. I learned this from youth. My dad taught me this. I was young when I learned to do this. You make pros and cons lists for everything, which sounds simple. But when you're a kid, that's a grown-up tool, right? Now I'm handling big-time decisions because I have pros and cons lists. That's like somebody handing you a compass in the woods. I was trying to decide whether I was going to move up in baseball league to the next division. I was young for the next group, and I was super small, but I was better than the group I was with by a long shot. The other players were really, really big. They were stronger. Their strides were bigger because their legs were longer. And they already had the kind of mustache that coaches trusted. So I was in trouble because I was still a kid. I was like 8. My dad, he didn't just say, go do this or go do that. He said, you need to figure it out. Write it down. Show me the pros. Show me the cons. What do you gain? What's the risk? What happens if you stay? What happens if you go? All that stuck with me. Now, that became how I made all decisions. And most people will call that overthinking. Call it avoiding dumb purchases, mostly, not always, because I still buy dumb. And some of those dumb things embarrass me immediately. You remember with those sunglasses that you changed the lenses out they sold on TV? I fell for that. They weren't that good. I think research matters. My girl told me, nobody ever taught me to do that. And I thought, that was interesting because I just assumed everybody had some version of that. That's how we all made decisions. But apparently not everybody does that. Some people just feel their way through decisions. They're all like, you know what? Me and that vibe, we're good. I don't need vibes. That's not what I do. I need specs. Vibes don't have warranties. Vibes don't have to get replacement parts and fit their big fat fingers in little holes to fix things that break on microwaves. Vibes will not help me when the igniter stops working in June in Arizona and my steak is sitting there looking at me with judgment. It's not okay. I told my girl, don't you worry, I got this. I've had 2 Weber grills in the past. Both were good. They lasted. They cooked well. They did what grills are supposed to do. See, a grill has one job: make meat better. That's it. That's all you got to do. You can't come in here with no cheap, flimsy metal like this one and be all like, oh, I can do it. No, you can't. Sure, you can get the meat done, but you can't get it done like the art I'm making. No, when I pull a steak off the grill, by God, you're going to know it. You're going to be thankful that steak finally made it to your plate. If I make something on this grill, you're going to be like, I wish someone could afford to get this man a decent grill. I don't want that. I need simple things out of a high-tech grill. I'm not asking it to raise my children. I'm not asking it to understand my emotions. I need heat, I need reliability, and a place for tongs. That's it. That's all I need. So I started with Weber way back in the day, like I told you, and it was the obvious place for me to start with this one. I went through all the models. I mean, the Spirit, the Genesis, the Summit, Sear Zones. How many burners? 3 burners, 4 burners, smart grill, dumb grill, grill with lights, grills with apps. I really need my grill to have Wi-Fi, but if it does, that's okay. I mean, I don't trust most things with Wi-Fi, but I had a Weber one time that had Wi-Fi and it did good, but it was weird when your meat starts texting you from the patio. It was an odd feeling, but whatever. It's all like, your steak has reached medium rare. I'm like, no, I'll be the judge of that. Let me go out here, give it the old hand test. Oh, yeah, I need a few more degrees. Thank you. Computer don't know. That's why I don't internet date, never did. Plus, you think I'm gonna let a computer decide when me and my girl's steak's done? No, I am not. I have eyes, I have tongues, I have watched YouTube. And I know how to buy things. I look at every single option and I ask myself, do I need this? Or has the marketing department just put another hat on something I don't? Because that's the question. That's how you save money, right? A side burner? Well, that sounds great until you realize, well, you had 2 other grills with side burners and you used them mostly as outdoor shelves. They never really saw any pots, but they held bags and paper plates and your keys and your phone. It's not really a side burner, it's a stainless steel junk drawer. Now on this grill, I actually wanted one of those side burners because in here, when you turn on heat just to boil water, you can feel it because it's only 425 square feet. And out here, I promise you, things are different out here in the desert if you've never lived here. You don't want any extra heat in the house, not a good idea. So I want to cook everything outside. Also, are there lights? Do I need grill lights? If I'm grilling in the darkness to the point where I need landing lights, something's gone wrong. Either dinner's too late or I've joined some weird secret meat society. I don't know, but it ain't right. I looked at all the brands too, the good brands. Now, I don't play around with this cheap stuff. I don't know about you, like I said earlier, I don't do thin metal, I don't do cheap doors, because if I'm going to have this thing outside, it should improve my cooking, not destroy it, and those cheap grills do nothing but destroy your ability. They make you look like a fool, and that's unnecessary. The boxing on this thing was insane. Pieces, parts everywhere. I looked at Napoleon, I looked hard at the Broil Kings. I wasn't super familiar with Broil King, just never really run across them. I knew the Napoleon line, which is almost as good as a Weber, kind of in my opinion. You may have had a great experience with that Napoleon and feel differently, but I've had a real good run with Weber for a long time. I also have a Weber griddle out there, and those charcoal cookers were in my life since I was a child. Now, I'm not going to trash any of the competitors, but I've always believed you don't kick a winner. If you buy the best, you'll never be dissatisfied. Now, I don't always mean the most expensive either, though most of the time it's pretty close, right? It means you want the thing that solves the problem the right way. Buy once, cry once. That's kind of the way I look at it. Unless you're assembling it in June in Arizona, then you cry several times, possibly into the hardware bag. I did. I had the model picked out. I knew what I wanted, the sizing. I had the options. I had everything figured out. I knew. Then I was like, I'm going into Costco, and I'm going to find out what the price is in here. Now, I typically don't go to Costco, and it's not because I dislike it. Costco is amazing. It's a wonderful store. Costco is what would happen if America turned into a warehouse with comfortable shoes. They have tires, steaks, clothes, couches, patio furniture, vacations, eyeglasses, kayak, coffin, a baby grand piano behind the towels. Costco's not a store, it's a civilization. Don't kid yourself. If the world ends, I'm going in there first. But the problem with me living by myself is I don't need 1,000 of anything. I don't need 1,000 muffins, 1,000 trash bags, a tub of mayonnaise. I don't need any of that. If you buy that kind of mayonnaise at the Costco, you either need a forklift or a church picnic coming up, because you just don't need that much. As a single guy, Costco's dangerous. I walked in to look at a grill. I left with, 6 pounds of blueberries, a rotisserie chicken, a life insurance quote, a new cell phone, and a cheap watch. And I don't know why. So a buddy of mine was all like, hey, you know what we do here? We go over to Costco because they have them incredible warranties. There's 5 or 6 years. You could just take that right back to Costco if it ain't working. And the warranty on the grill, by the way, is 12. So I'm like, you know what? That pretty much locks me down, because when you say warranty to me, You're talking my love language. I get it. I am the product rain man. When I hear warranty, whoop, I'm listening. Go on. So I go in to the Costco, and there was a big Weber. 4 burners, $1,100. I looked at my girl. My girl was like, we don't need one that big. Whatever. So I kept walking. I looked at the Traeger. I do like Traegers. I just don't know that I want to deal with the auger and all of that here in this location. So then we looked at some other ones. We got around to some brands I never heard of that I'm never buying. And then there it was. Boom, boom, boom. Ha! The Weber that I wanted. The right size. The right one. I had researched it. I knew everything about it. This was the machine. You ain't gonna believe this. I was standing right there in the store. They had a manufacturer's rebate of $110. Costco had this grill for $800. The place that I was looking, the same one, because it's not a Costco special, not this place's fault, just what it cost, it was $1,100. I can't pass that up. What am I, stupid? This one had everything I wanted. So I was like, okay, research. Ran into Destiny. Looky there. I had to buy it. It's not an impulse. Well, I told my girl, I'm like, girl, this ain't impulse. She's like, I know. This is evidence. It's evidence that the universe wants me to save. It's evidence that I have suffered enough through grill comparison videos, through Facebook Marketplace. I bought the grill. I was proud too. I was confident. I was also wrong about what came next, because buying this grill was the easy part. The gas grill in the box is not a product. It is a studio apartment. The box was enormous. It looked like I purchased a refrigerator for linebackers. Everything about that box said, you're not as young as you think you are. Me and my girl were all like, I was like, okay, just back the SUV up here, and since it's open, the driveway slopes up, it won't have far to fall, right? She was like, that's a great idea. I was like, well, I've done this a time or two. So we get it set up. I pull it off. It lands. I don't want to land on her finger. So I had to do what I had to do. It landed right on my foot. The thing like 180 pounds on my foot. My foot ain't built like that. Now, I ain't even got to the build time yet. The box said it was a 2-hour build time. That's adorable. 2 hours. That's what the box said. Oh, I could do this. Now, I don't know who built this grill in 2 hours, but I assume they work for NASA or Cirque du Soleil, because normal humans are not doing this in 2 hours. We're not built that way. We started at 7 o'clock at night in Arizona in the 105-degree heat, and that sentence alone should have stopped us. It was 7 at night. Darkness is moving in. It's 105 degrees. I'll give you a little hint about Arizona. It does not cool off. Last night, 1 a.m. in the morning. Don't ask me why I'm up. I'm winning a Rocket League tournament. I'll tell you now. But anyway, back to what I was saying, Nosy. Out here, the temp doesn't change. It does not cool off. At 1 a.m., it was 91 degrees. All they do in Arizona is just change the lighting. The sun goes down. The air says, oh, I'm still here. So there we are. Giant box parts everywhere. Stuff strode all across the driveway. Directions open. I'm sweating like a defendant. My girl's outside. She's hearing words she ain't never heard. And I'm trying to stay positive because, after all, this is my grill. This is the grill I researched. This is the grill I chose. This is the grill that won the tournament in my head. But immediately, the instructions start doing what instructions do. They betrayed me. Pictures are tiny. I can't. Honey, you got to look at this. Take a picture of it and blow it up. Can't nobody see this. Parts are all identical. Screws are in bags labeled by people who have no concept of how to build things. They hate eye contact. You look at one panel, then you look at another. These are different? No, they're not. Maybe emotionally. That's the difference. One goes left, one goes right. How am I going to know? Now, if you choose wrong, you're going to find out. Not now. You're going to find out 17 to 20 steps later. That's how building works. I mean, I don't care if it's a grill or if you're putting together furniture. The manual does not tell you when you are wrong. It will let you continue to build with confidence. And then later, it's going to ruin your life. I've never seen directions that say, hey, before you continue, you are making one huge mistake. Though they should. That would be helpful. Instead, it's just a diagram of a smiling cartoon grill and 6 arrows pointing in the direction no adult understands. And I'm outside trying to be handy. Did I mention I have a 425 square foot house? Not like I'm sporting a garage out here. I don't have 38 tools or anything to really work on. I have a patio. First, I'm fine. Everything's cool. I got my tools, have my parts. I'm not too hot. It's confidence building. I'm looking good. And then Arizona starts working on me professionally, telling me in my head, are you a little hot? You notice you feel a little thirsty, don't you? It's negotiating with you, and now you're fighting with the heat. You're sweating like Fat Elvis. Are you sure this panel goes here? Your girl's trying to help you. What's your blood pressure doing? After about an hour, I realize I'm not really assembling a grill anymore. I'm sort of participating in survival training. She's got long hair. I don't know how she's handling this heat. We're outside. We can't see a thing. We're inside looking at directions, outside doing things, holding a side panel, looking at a bolt and thinking, I may die out here for hamburgers. That's when I stopped and I reconsidered my priorities because this was not a tomahawk ribeye yet. This was not even a hot dog. This was potential food. I was risking heat illness for future meat. That's a sentence that every American should say eventually, because it's an American sentence. Ain't nobody else saying that. It's only here. Eventually, I overheated. I said, you know what? I'm done. Called it a day. Grill won that day. That's what I get for starting at 7 p.m. on day one. Now I finished. 2 days later, 2-hour build time. Buck said 2 hours. Maybe that meant 2 hours in grill years. I don't know. Maybe Weber uses dog math. Maybe time moves differently in their warehouse. I don't know. All I know is if a box says 2 hours, that should include a rating. 2 hours for who? Contractor, your sober uncle, your drunkle, a retired shop teacher, a NASCAR pit crew? Who? Because 2 hours for me and 2 hours for them, it's not the same measurement. We need labels. 2 hours for professionals, 4 hours for regular dudes, 6 hours for single guys with confidence, and 2 days if assembled in Phoenix. That would be honest packaging. I could respect that. Had a buddy of mine who used to judge every job by how many beers we were going to drink to get it accomplished, right? Tim, can you come over? We've got to work on this blah, blah, blah. He'd say, how many beer job is it? I'd say, feels like a 6-pack. So he'd bring 18, because you got to plan ahead. That's how it works. Eventually, she and I got it done together, and I'm proud of that. She did a great job. She probably did better than I did because the heat was wearing me out. She just kept on trucking. Again, when I look at the grill, I look at it kind of like a man who restored a truck. Not because I built it, because I did not build it. We did not build it, let's be honest. We assembled a pre-engineered box under duress, that's all. But I survived it, and there's pride in survival. I don't care how you look at things. There's pride in it. This weekend, I'm hoping to put a tomahawk ribeye on this sucker. Not a regular steak, no, a tomahawk. Because after all this, I need the steak to have a handle. I need it to look like a Flintstones prop. I need my neighbors to be all whispering out trailer windows. Looks like something important's happening over on Bud's patio. This steak needs ceremony. After weeks of grill research, after comparing Weber, Broil King, Napoleon, Sideburner, sear zones, rebates, warranties, assembly trauma, I cannot christen this thing with turkey burgers. No. That would be disrespectful. This grill deserves beef with architecture. Now, here's the funny thing. My girl makes fun of me for all this research, and she should. It is funny. It's ridiculous. But She also knows that when I finally buy something, I know why. And there's comfort in that. There's comfort in not wondering if you've got tricked. I want to know everything on the market, all the choices. There's comfort in knowing you compared the options and you made the best decision with the information that was available. That's my thing. May not be your thing. And that does not mean that when you get it, it's going to work perfectly. Sometimes the grill takes 2 days to put together. Sometimes the iPhone case will yellow. And sometimes the wheelbarrow will stay theoretical forever. My girl calls it my research problem. Yeah, probably right. I call it being prepared. Somewhere out there, I'm just going to tell you, there's a wheelbarrow that I researched for 2 years that still wonders what might have been. Could have been beautiful. We could have hauled mulch together. We could have changed lives. But no, I moved. So now I have a grill. I don't have a wheelbarrow, but clearly I'm growing. I appreciate you spending time with me today. Thanks for subscribing, liking, sharing, commenting. Thank you for being a part of the growth here at Bud Ford Comedy. My name is Bud like the beer, Ford like the truck, and I appreciate you. Hope you have a great weekend. If you're looking for me, I'm going to be outside. I'm going to be in the Arizona heats, probably standing beside a Weber grill. I'm emotionally overqualified for, you know that. Trying to cook a tomahawk ribeye without becoming a weather warning or a statistic. Have a great day.